Hello, and welcome back to Reverse 1999. So, like I said in the previous video, when the Assassin's Creed guys are all at 100%
Do you have some work for me? Something you need, maybe, or someone you need taught a lesson?
So I thought it would be a good idea to check out all the characters that I have bond 100 of. Give a look at the voice lines at the and at the descriptions and such. So we can start off by seeing Kassandra while we're here. Let's see. We have the normal outfit. This is the it's not the one we start with in the game, but you can find it really easily in Catalonia. And this one is the Amazon armor. You can find it pretty easily out in the world. Next up we have, there we go, Kassandra, human artwork. Yeah, all of the Assassin's Creed guys are human, Arcanists by obviously. Exhibited in 431 BCE for 27 years, creation date unknown. Originally exhibited in Sparta, it later drifted onto the island of Catalonia and toured various Greek city-states. You can see the medium is hounded, I don't know what that means. Her flatus is limestone of wonder, a mineral, the eagle bearer. She smells like marine, salt, amber, and vetiver. Honestly, that's what makes sense. She's been all her life basically on the sea. And this is the dimensions for her painting. We got voice lines. You can take a look. It's a few of them.
I am the Misthios Kassandra of Sparta. Name your request, and I will do all that I can. Provided you have the drachma.
Yep.
A fine day. As Varnavas would say, the perfect weather for setting sail.
Barnabas mentioned. Yeah, Barnabas is our co-captain in the ship. We save him right at the end of the prologue. So, yeah, that's a pretty cool reference.
Many in this world have no say in their fate. We are forced from our homes to wander distant shores. But I believe there is a way back for those that seek it. I was born in Sparta, but it is not my home. Now I am but a Misthios, using my spear to help my friends. And those that can afford me. Do you have some work for me? Something you need, maybe, or someone you need taught a lesson? Ah, good. You're awake. Care to join me on my morning routine? Be warned, though. You may have to get your hands dirty.
And this one is a bit different.
There's a spot at the very top of the Acropolis that has a perfect view of the morning star just before dawn. It is a secret known by very few, but Icarus has shared it with me. Oh, I don't much care for Pericles' symposiums. But if you can stand the speeches and politics, you can always find an interesting character or two in attendance. I remember my first kill. A rabbit. Another part of Nicholas's grueling training. It was good and clean. Straight through the skull. He told my mother afterwards that he was sure I would bring glory to Sparta.
Yeah, we all know how that turned out. Let's see when we pat her how we pat her.
I would not recommend this life to you. To be a Misthios means making enemies wherever you go. I've even managed to get a sizable bounty on my head.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you're admiring my spear. Beware of its edge. The shaft may be broken, but it's still as sharp as it was in the hands of Leonidas.
It has a handle. I think this is just the upgraded version we upgrade during the game. Clothing and torso.
You must be unseen, merging into shadow itself. Do not emerge until your blade is ready to slice your target's throat. Then you return to the sunlight as if nothing ever happened.
It's actually pretty cool that they made it disappear there. What are her hobbies?
Sometimes I wish my life were more simple. No cults, no oracles. I always wanted to take Phoebe traveling. But the Fates had other plans for us.
Poor Phoebe.
You're a rare sort of person. The wisdom of the Athenians matched with the bravery of the Spartans. Rare indeed.
Yeah, Burton is a very interesting character, isn't she?
When I finally saw my mother again, my heartbeat was louder than the waves. I was afraid that I was not good enough. But my fears were for nothing. She stood there and opened her arms to me. I thank all the gods for granting me that moment.
Yeah, it was a bit of an emotional scene. Honestly, the whole family main quest, if you do your player cards right, it can be very heartwarming.
Malaga, you don't know how much trouble Marcus brought me.
Oh.
Cleaning up his messes was a greater labor than cleaning the Augean stables. I've been too long away from Kefalonia. I may not miss the Cyclops, but I do miss Marcus's vineyard.
Marcus is an interesting character too. He's quite very funny. We find him later, when we leave Kefalonia. We find him in another island later on. Always getting into trouble, the poor guy.
When the cult took Alexios, they became the source of all our pain. But I will never give up on him. One day, I will cleave my brother out of this Demos and bring him home.
Yeah. This is mid-quest, mid-Odyssey, Kassandra, not at the end, huh? Monologue.
I have seen too many wars, too many people dying, and witnessed the death of too many civilizations. People are born, they live, and they die. And at last, their souls will return to the ground. Yeah. Matir Pandos. Here.
Oh, so this is like post-game Kassandra talking. I'm guessing the chit-chat 2 is just mid-game, where she hasn't calmed her brother down, and monologue is just post credit because of that whole civilization thing. Let's see, the other one is just skill casts and stuff like that. Alright, let's take a look at her items. Icaros, invaluable, the fierce powerful eagle, and Kassandra's most loyal partner. By her side since childhood, he soars above the wine-colored sea, swiftly seeking out her target. I do wonder how long eagles live. Mercenary breastplate, worn and battered. It's 2.14 clear drops that it costs, but still solid. Sorry about that. Likely a mercenary bought this breastplate after a hefty contract. It held strong through salty winds, enemy blades, and the long erosion of time. Spirit of Leonidas, invaluable. What remains of the legendary Spirit of Leonidas? It hums with energy, awakened by a mystical power. Its whispers are faint, elusive. Perhaps only the true interviewee truly understands what they mean. All right, this is Pandora that's doing the interviews and things like that. Utu interviewer. All right, part 1. Give me a second. Okay. In 480 BCE, King Xerxes I of Persia led a massive invasion of Greece. At the narrow pass of Thermopylae, King Leonidas of Sparta, with his 298 Spartan warriors, joined a handful of soldiers from the other city-states. He used the terrain to hold back the army, and they outnumbered them many times over. Leonidas and his men fought fiercely for 3 days, withstanding the wave after wave of Persian assault, till they were finally overwhelmed and fell where they stood. The war was long since past, and the legend now rests in the verses of wandering epics, and the hero's broken spear, preserved through bloodlines, lives on its passing. Decades later in Laconia, briefly spared from the tides of war, a descendant of Leonidas was born and raised, a spirited girl trained in Sparta, disciplined by her father, a respected general of the Polis. Her mother had bestowed upon her that legendary broken spear, forging in the child both the art and spirit of Sparta. But one rainy day, to the sound of her mother's wails, and that very father cast his daughter from the cliffs. Perhaps it was Tish's mercy. The fall did not deliver her to the underworld, but instead marked the beginning of something else, a legend. She stood, lifted her eyes, and there it was, the broken spear that was fallen with her, resting quietly under the moonlight. And so, it finally met the moment to fight for its master again. Yeah, okay, so this is basically just the prologue before we even go to Catalonia, huh? Part 2. The following passage was recorded by Burton and others, attributed to an Athenian bard. According to the bard, it tells the tale of the mercenary known as the Eagle-Bearer. Tell me, muse of the legendary mercenary, the western wind that swept across the wine-dark sea, ever wandering, who met many people and city-states their cunning and guile, and through the vast oceans in the forest of gods, ensured endless suffering in body and spirit, seeking kin and seeking home. Goddess, daughter of Zeus, sing us her tale. She once walked the soil of Phokis, where Apollo's priestess altered her prophecy for her. Where the west wind reached Attica, the Athenians welcomed her with joyous feasts. Winged words carried over Laconia, where she stood before the king of Lacedaemon, and she finally forced him to face a dark fate. As she turned to flee, a spear pierced his chest. The king collapsed, his armor shattering, clattering against the stone. Time flown, and the end came, as all does. By the will of God, she found her way home. Returned to Sparta through peace still eluded her. When she was back in her mother's arms, the gods rejoiced. All but one, the distant god of fear, son of Ares, held fast in his spite against godlike Kassandra until she stood once again before the cliff where it all began. Okay, so it isn't Pandora doing the interview this time, it was just Vertin recording what the OC Bard, what the original character of the Bard for this event did, huh? That's cool, they're just recapping her story. Oh, they actually do have Pandora doing the interview, that's nice. Alright, so, Kassandra, sorry, I shouldn't have started you for so long. Could you repeat the question? No problem. You're actually one of the few interviewees who aren't too curious about me. Even arcanists sometimes struggle to let that curiosity go. Back to the topic. Do you still feel anything like longing, nostalgia when you think of Sparta? I was a Spartan once, but that was a long time ago. Once you learn to survive on your own, you stop holding into the past. Though there are exceptions. Could you tell me about those exceptions? When you see someone you've longed to see, but also fear that they would go, especially when you're so tied to your past. Someone from your past, was it your family? They'll always be my family, even after they threw me off a cliff. Even if they raised their sword against you. That was their choice, not mine. Alright, talking about Alexios here. Very interesting. I do say they did a good job representing Kassandra here. Even the voice actress is the same one as the games, which is pretty good. It's always nice to bring back old voice actors. Alright, that was Kassandra. And next one, I'll see you in a little bit.
Don't think I haven't noticed you looking to pay me a visit out in the wilderness. Usually those who seek to find me are looking for trouble. I'm glad you're one of the exceptions. So, buongiorno, signorina.
Ezio Auditore, the assassin, the master assassin of Firenze. We can take a look at his signature here, it's pretty fancy. He only has the two outfits, his Assassin's 2 outfit and his altered armor one, which is pretty cool. It was basically a mandatory to get this one to complete the game. You have to do all the puzzles. The game literally prevented you from going there. You have to get this armor, which is interesting way to do it. Let's take a look. Again, a human artwork exhibited in the late 15th century for 34 years, completed in summer of the 24th of June. Originally exhibited in the Republic of Florence, later moved to Venice, Rome, Istanbul, and more. These are references to all the other games. Venice is Assassin's Creed brother. No, I think he goes in 2 still. I think he goes to Venice in 2. Rome, I know it's in Brotherhood. I'm pretty sure it's in Brotherhood. And Istanbul, I know this one is in Revelations. Oops, I forgot to see this. Medium stealth, yeah, figures. Afflatus, prophet of the Florence, star, assassin of the Brotherhood. He smells like wood, leather, silver, benzoin, iris. I don't think silver has any scent, but whatever. Let's see.
Agiamo nell'ombra per servire la luce. We are assassins.
Alright. Simple and straight to the point.
In my memories, it was always sunny in Monteriggioni. Days like these remind me of the humid air of Venezia. I can't see into my own future. But there is one thing I know for certain. What I've gone through. The battles I've fought. My days of family and comfort are over. My life belongs to the Brotherhood.
Oh yeah, your life is not going to be easy, bro. Not at all.
Weapons wear and rust with time. And so do men. Whenever I need maintenance for my weapons or myself, I find my way to Leonardo's door. The man is a genius in every art and science known to man, and yet also a good and faithful friend.
I do like their friendship in Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood. Although it's clear that Da Vinci wanted something more. It was a bit humorous when, in one scene, I think it was in Brotherhood, when Ezio sat down next to Leonardo and he said, "I have something to tell you." And Leonardo says, "Sat closer to him," and then it was something not unrelated to anything. And Leonardo said, "Oh," and it just moved away. It was really funny. You can find that, I think, easily on YouTube.
Don't think I haven't noticed you looking to pay me a visit out in the wilderness. Usually those who seek to find me are looking for trouble. I'm glad you're one of the exceptions. So, buongiorno, signorina.
Maybe it's on this one, right?
You must savor the moment when you open your eyes in the morning. It's a privilege denied many that lived just one day before.
Yeah.
Oh, grazie. Of course, I'd love to have an apple for breakfast. It may not be quite as juicy as your friend, but it is far better than most apples I see. This one is free of cantarella.
Please don't call Mr. Apple juicy. Or maybe do, I don't know what you're into, Ezio.
Non temete l'oscurità. Accettate il suo abbraccio. Per quanto sia penoso il trapasso, lieto sarà il tuo sonno. Requiescat in pace.
Hey, he said it, he said the thing.
There are those that claim to seek peace and order in this world, whose true designs are shrouded in darkness and oppression, while others dream of peace, but must fight every day to protect freedom and light.
Yeah. Alright, let's touch your hood.
The hood can cause unusual looks, I know. But many that might be curious are disappointed when they glimpse beneath it. There is no great mystery, just a man like any other. Except for the scar that Vieri de Pazzi gave me.
Are you sure? I think you're quite handsome, all things considered. I think people would not be disappointed if you took the hood off.
That blade is sharp, my friend. Watch your fingers. I wouldn't want you to lose any accidentally. I first put this on when my father and brothers were taken. All these years, I've pushed myself to grow into it, whatever the price. But it's only now that I've finally begun to understand what it truly signifies.
What's your hobbies, Ezio? Besides vaginas, I mean.
In Firenze, I often roamed the streets and climbed over roofs, racing against Federico, collecting feathers for Petruccio, running errands for my mother and sister, and visited Cristina sometimes. But those days are long behind me. I still return to those memories often to give me the strength to carry on.
Those feathers are the reason I didn't platinum Assassin's Creed 2. They were way too tedious to get all of that. There's like, 100 of them? It was ridiculous amount of feathers. I do like the detail that they had the feather coming down when he was talking about it.
Few would be able to stay as calm as you did when confronting the Templars for the first time. You have the makings of a true assassin.
Well, thank you.
The apples of Eden and the pages from the Codex have led me to uncover many mysteries. And there's more still out there. Whenever I found one, I've always had the feeling that someone else is trying to solve them. I think I've discovered a strange truth, that I am only a conduit for a message that eludes my understanding. I believe you may understand.
Yeah, it's Normally, the message of the precursors, I think that was the name, were not for him, but for Desmond, the guy who was reliving his memories. So it must be really kind of trippy to hear a message, not to you, but to someone in the future. That must be crazy.
I've watched my loved ones die, betrayed by those I had called friends. Vengeance clouded my mind. It would have consumed me, were it not for the wisdom of a few strangers, who taught me to look past my instincts. We are born to be free. But what does freedom truly mean? There is no book or teacher to give you the answers, to show you the path. There are those who will take that freedom from us, and too many gladly give it. But it is our ability to choose. Whatever you think is true, that makes us human. No one can take away your right to pursue it.
Nice. Alright, what's your monologue gonna be?
Where other men blindly follow the truth, remember, nulla reale. Where other men are limited by morality or law, remember, tutto è lecito. In this modern age, we are not so literal as our ancestors, but our seal is no less permanent. Are you ready to join us?
It was an initiation. Yeah, I think the thing you said in Italian is nothing is true, everything is permitted, which is the assassin motto in Italian, which is kind of neat detail. Alright, what are his items? Obviously the hidden blade, rare fine, well concealed, no finger sacrifice required, unlike poor Altair who had to sacrifice his finger. Enhanced through visionary refinement, the hidden blade became the assassin's deadliest implement. We remain fascinated by its design and have requested a prototype sketch from the interviewee, hoping to understand how it achieves both deadly precision and aesthetic grace. Can you imagine Verton with a hidden blade? Huh. The plain cape. Invaluable. All of this is invaluable. A rugged cloak for a seasoned assassin. Lightweight, weathered, and resilient. The interviewee shared that it shielded its wearer from Florence's sudden summer showers, and kept blood from staining his robes the instant the blade struck. Yeah, I guess having a white outfit would be kind of bad for killing people. Run, Ezio, run. When asked about his artifact origin, the interviewee paused, visibly moved, and shared its story in heartfelt emotion. They requested anonymity upon publication. To respect their privacy, we offered this excerpt. On the night before this execution, a father entrusted a family heirloom hidden in a secret chamber to his son. The young boy, in panic, rushed home, put on the assassin's robes passed on to him. Years later, he finally understood that night his father had already made up his mind to pass on his ancient legacy. Ezio. And now the story. Florence never fades. Like many who lived through great eras of history, the people of Renaissance Florence rarely grasped the weight of their age they inhabited. They were preoccupied with the price of wool, the exchange of florins, and added the last brushstroke to the mysterious smile. That's the Mona Lisa. Unknowingly, they shared a new reality, one where an ancient idea bloomed once more from the shadows, that mankind is born free. This idea, a fragile spark at first, inspired countless souls to rise in its name. It carried the ancient struggle into the modern world, tiding the war between assassins and Templars with a vivid share of Florence red. At the start of the conflict stood the Auditore family, 1 generation, 2, 3, only their successors knew the final count. But whatever the number, the world remains in balance. After centuries of bloodshed, the sun over Florence still shines with the same generosity, warming saints and sinners alike. This city, instinctively tilting her left cheek towards tradition, can't help but glance to the right, gazing towards the brilliant uncharted future. Warrant for arrest, Republic of Firenze. Okay, that's kind of funny. To all citizens of Florence and visiting guests, by order of the Palazzo della Signora, we, a magistrate of the Gonfaloniere, hereby issue a following warrant. A recent rise in kidnappings, murders, and public disturbances have been traced to a single suspect. This notice is made public accordingly. Name: Ezio Auditore. Gender: male. Age: approximately 34. Height: around 6 feet. I don't know how much that is in actual measurements. Appearance: brown hair, brown eyes, scar on the right side of his mouth, wears unusual clothing, often hooded. Last seen: near the dome of the Florence Cathedral. Crimes: member of the traitorous auditory family, escaped execution, responsible for the death of multiple men of the Pazzi family, allied with Venetian dissidents and mercenaries, assassinated the Doge of Firenze, Venice, attempted an attack on His Holiness Pope Alexander VI. This individual is elusive, often seen on rooftops and alleyways, hiding within crowds. Those who could provide leads or assist the guards in his capture shall be awarded 100 florins. Anyone who captures and delivers this man to the Bargello prison shall be awarded 300 florins. Harboring him shall be treated as a crime equal to his own. This decree is effective immediately and remains until the suspect is apprehended and sentenced. Issued by the magistrate of Gonfaloniere, Republic of Firenze. Okay, so this is the posters we ripped in the game. Like, they're everywhere. We can just rip them to get rid of our notoriety, huh? And now the interview. I think I'm starting to get used to you, Signora. Even if all I can see of you is your lovely mouth in front of me. Always the charmer, aren't you? I'm pleased you've adjusted quickly to the use of arcane skill, Signora Di Torre. Once you've seen an apple that bends the will of man, it's easier to accept other strange things. That's what you need, Signora Bocca. Miss Mouth. Does encountering those so-called unnatural phenomena ever trouble you? Trouble? Not quite. Confused, perhaps. For 10 years I tracked Rodrigo Borgia, seeking vengeance for my father and brothers. Although, after I defeated him and took the Apple of Eden, it would all end. But instead, it unraveled something even larger. And that mystery led me onward, again and again, until what? Nothing. Perhaps I was just wandering too far in thought. That's an interesting thing. I think it was hinting at Brotherhood. Yeah, interesting. I did like his crossover story better than the Odyssey one, honestly. But yeah, I like Ezio a lot. I think he's the most developed character in Assassin's Creed in general, but it makes sense, right? We spent 3 whole games. We basically spent literally from his birth, from his literal death in one of the YouTube videos. They did a YouTube video short showing Ezio's death. It was really sad, all things considered. But yeah, Ezio is a great character. I'm really glad we have him here. Alright, off to the last Assassin's Creed guy.
Have you not heard of Deimos, the demigod of terror, rightfully worshipped by the cult of Cosmos, and soon enough the world? And you should know that I am he.
Of course, Alexios. So, like, this is Deimos Alexios, right? He's still have the programming of the cult in him. So, yeah, that's something to look for. And let's see. Alexios. Oh wait, we can still see the his things. This is his Deimos outfit. Pretty cool. We got the chest plate. We got the I don't know what it's called. The skirt, I guess you could say. And then we have the this armor, which looks really similar to Kassandra's red outfit, but this one is the Athenian version. You can see the owl of Athena over here. So it's really interesting that it chose this armor for Alexios. I guess it's a nice contrast. Blue and red are pretty much opposites. Let's see. Human artwork. Exhibited in 431 BCE for 20 years. Creation date unknown. Originally exhibited in Sparta, later vanished without a trace, reappeared around 441 BCE and toured various Greek city-states. Understandable. His medium is cruelty. Yeah, that tracks. Flatus. Roaring blood and bone, beast, demigod Deimos. Fragrance. Leather, iron, ash, birch tar, and civet musk. Alright. And these are the dimensions for his thing.
I have been chosen by destiny to bring order to this world. There are only 2 choices available to you. Follow me and rule, or stand against me and perish. Choose wisely.
Uh-huh. What do you think of the climate?
The air is humid and sticky, but I would rather the rain sticking to me than be bothered by that Mithrios with a broken spear.
Sorry, Deimos, but your big sister is here as well.
My sister, that sentimental Mithrios, still aims to see me reunite with her. But the only aim of mine of ours is control.
Don't worry about it. Well, you will get familiar with her just yet. What's your
My
idol?
sword is all the family I need.
The greeting we already
Have
saw.
you not heard of Deimos, the demigod of terror, rightfully worshipped by the cult of Cosmos, and soon enough the world? And you should know that I am he.
There we go. Now, morning. What do you think of the morning?
Fools crawl to the temple of Apollo, begging Pythia for prophecies so they might avoid their fate. But they will learn soon enough that there is no avoiding the coming of war, and whoever does not stand beside me will be made to kneel.
Yeah, buddy, I'm sure of it.
She isn't as hard to track as she might believe. I found her on Andros by daybreak. Just as I thought, she denied everything they had done to me, and still claimed to want to be the bigger person. So, having guts runs in the family, does it?
What do you think of the night?
Have you seen the wise archons hosting their symposiums? When the time comes, I'm going to destroy everything they've created. Athens is mine.
I guess that's why they gave him the Athenian armor. Alright, what do you think of the, now that we have a
I
bond?
will never forget the night they threw me from Mount Degetos.
You remember that?
Their Alexios died that day. Only Deimos remains.
You were a literal toddler. How the hell do you remember that? That's crazy. Alright, let's touch your hair.
There's more to being the best than pure strength, my so-called pater claimed. Ha! Nothing more than an excuse for weakness.
Alright, buddy, I'm sure of it.
Whosoever touches the sword of Damocles will meet their destiny, either to die or to master its power.
It is a very cool sword. I did use it after we defeated Alexios and the rest of my playthrough. It was quite, even if it wasn't the most powerful sword, I really do like using it. Alright, let's touch your torso.
Don't touch me.
Understandable. Vertin is a bit handsy. What's your hobbies?
That woman has tortured me since I was a child. She made me suffer, taught me that the world is pain, and let me learn to welcome it like an old friend. Ha!
Alright, what's praise?
You don't call me friend, but neither do you stand in my way. If nothing else, you aren't a fool.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I'm Deimos, a demigod chosen by fate. You see this, and yet you still don't worship me. What is it that you wish from me? Wealth? Power? All of Greece at your feet? I offer it all, if you are wise enough to serve me.
Huh.
The like of Pericles and Cleon believe themselves to be wise. They believe they can manipulate the masses of Athens to their whims like puppeteers. I will humble them. Once I have brought them low, they will see that I am the one who pulls the strings.
Alright, buddy.
Since meeting my sister, I've tried to figure out what she is to me. And it came to me. She is a weed, trying to choke and destroy everything I've planted. And you know the best way to kill a weed? Is at the root.
Yeah, he is a very complicated character in Odyssey. You can save him. You can redeem him, but it's one of those one of those quests that takes the whole game to complete. I don't think it's quite rewarding to redeem him. It really is heartwarming, trying to deprogram the cult's mentality out of him. Monologue, what's up?
The lioness will defend her cubs, even if it means tearing another to shreds. So, if even beasts know to protect their young, what then can be said of my family? I didn't betray them. They betrayed me.
Yeah, I guess that does make sense. I think. Yeah, poor Alexios is a tragic character in a way. He is a crazy maniac, but he is a sad character. Alright, items. Demigod chestplate. All of this is invaluable again. Gleaming gold, dazzling and impenetrable, sculpted with ideal musculature, and coveted in intricate dents engravings, for the noblest of men, until the interviewee interrupts to correct us. Only the most fearsome deserve to wear it. Huh. Until Alexios interrupts Pandora. Alright. Sword of Damocles. Its blade bears traces of ancient forging techniques, hinting at a gift from the gods, bestowed upon a warrior who could not be defeated. To face it is to divide the strong, who rejoice for the weak, who wail. And the artifact fragment, a part of the pyramid. A triangular shard which embodies Pythagoras, mega spoilers, theorem through the combination of precise angles of point, line, and plane. A word of geometric perfection. More crucially, it affirms a bearer's identity in a subtle but authoritative way. Yeah, I guess. Alone they are a bit useless, but you need all of them combined to make the big pyramid artifact. Alright. Decades ago, a small group of people gathered around a theory they believed it could be used to control the space. To them, the world moved between two forces, order and chaos. But among them fell too deeply into chaos. From that descent, the cult of Cosmos was born. Wearing masks, black robes, and the image of a serpent that devoured all, they made no effort to hide their ambitions and greed. They claimed to desire order, but sought to build through war. An order that served only themselves, and so the Greek world was plunged into endless conflicts. The prolong of the war, they orchestrated an event in 446 BCE, with the smoke-filled temple of Delphi trembling. A feverish female voice delivered a sentence upon a newborn boy. To prevent Sparta's fall, the child must fall first. Bound by the divine will of the oracle, the Spartan Gerusia left the family no choice. One rainy night, the infant was cast from Mount Taygetus. Though he survived the fall, his descent through life never stopped. As he was swallowed by the serpent itself, he no longer belonged to his family, nor any place under the sun. That's a poetic way to say it, yeah. And it's even sadder because the reason, spoilers by the way, for Odyssey, the reason why Deimos or Alexios was thrown out the mount wasn't even an oracle that thought she was hearing the voices of Apollo. It was because the cult of Cosmos told her to say that, which is really tragic. A damaged wax tablet from ancient Greece. 1. Amphasterion, 7th-day seeker, a Spartan ephor, Evagoras, son of Aristomenes. Question: should we promise the people of Pondaenia to our support for invading Attica? Response: you must. Our city will rise. One will fall. Amphibolion, 7th-day seeker, a certain Spartan mercenary. Question: I lost my mother as a child. Having to find her. Where is she? Oh gods, it's a shout from the mountain. No, Lord Deimos will kill me if I tell. A long portion of the record has been hastily scratched out. Something day. Seeker. Question: should we invade Athens during the plague? Response: of course. We have already sent in the artifact fragment. And while I'm at it, kill Pericles. I'll kill that fool Pericles. Something day. Seeker. Question: the Battle of Amphipolis has begun. It seems Cleon can no longer win the support of the Athenians. What's the next move? I've seen it. I'll go to the battlefield outside Amphipolis in silence. Those two mutts who won't stop barking. As for Cleon, okay, that's interesting. Last Pythia's words, And finally, we got the interview. Hello, Mr. Alexios, What is this? Delighted that you're curious. I'm the editor-in-chief of Utu, a magazine covering lifestyle, current affairs, fashion, and arcanum. No one's foolish enough to talk to a flaunting mouth. Even few would be naive enough to believe that one is saying. Mr. Alexios, I think there's been a misunderstanding about some basics of arcanum. First, I am a respected editor of a well-known publication. Second, I am not just a mouth. And what do you want from me? Nothing really. A formal interview usually begins with a few questions, that is all. What kind of questions? We've heard that you refuse to reconcile with your sister, that you won't return to your family. I'm curious. Ha ha. Damn it. Goddamn. Coughing thing. Where was I? Yeah. That you won't return to your family. I'm curious. How do you feel about Kassandra? I knew you could not be trusted. No comment. Journalists. Right, that was all the Assassin's Creed guys. All in all, I think they did a great job with them. They did expand on the characters a little bit, and it did hints. Since with Ezio, they couldn't actually just spell out all his story because it's just Assassin's Creed 2, so they just hinted at it a few times. Alexios and Kassandra, they could spell out more since they only had one game to work with, and didn't have that much restrictions. I did find curious how Kassandra seems to be both in the middle of her Odyssey and after her Odyssey, which is a very interesting take. Alexios is just Demos at this point. He's mentally not all there. He's a pretty traumatized guy, all things considered, and manipulated by the Cult of Cosmos. So yeah, that was all the Assassin's Creed guys. And since it's October, I think it's a good idea to look at the freaky guys, the ones from the horror event, since I have pretty much all of them except Argus. So why not take a look at them? I'll see you all in a little bit.
I have to remind you that jump scares are really outdated.
Alright, that's all he has to say. Yep, we can start off with Horrorpedia. Why not start, since it's the spooky month, right? Let's go for the horror guys. And why not the one guy with Freddy Krueger and is that Leatherface? I think that's Discount Leatherface because of the white apron. Yeah, let's take a look at his garments first. He has his a St. Pavlov thing, which is just that. It's kind of cool. Let me see, can we zoom in? You can. Yep, there we go. You can zoom in whatever we want. I like all the Laplace members. No, not Laplace. Foundation members. He has the checkered things, as well as some tools. This one is very interesting. We can see he has various horror movie things. Let me see. What can I see from here? I can see Jason's masks. Chucky. Oh, he has a dog. I didn't even know that. We got some creepy things over here. We got the Thing. Let me see. What else is there? I think this is something familiar. Is it Friday the 13th? I don't think it is. But yeah, Freddy Krueger over here. Just right over there. It's very interesting. They have very little references to horror movies. Alright, let's see what you're up to. An Arcanist, an artwork completed on January 3rd. Why not why not on the 13th? It would be kind of fun. But first put on display in the 1990s, it remained on display for 21 years. It was displayed at the St. Pavlov Foundation's External Inspection Unit. His medium is logic. His afflatus is will of bedrock mineral, logical deduction. He smells like aromatic woody notes, juniper, lambdamum, and dried rosin. Interesting.
Hey, the great Verdin. Nice to see you again.
Oh, and by the way, we can see the he has Ghostface's mask right here in his belt, which is kind of funny.
Downpour and thick clouds. We are trapped in this haunted castle. Suddenly, someone knocks at the door. Knock, knock.
Yeah, buddy, you can stop trying to be scary.
Future. Our future slides back to the past. What else would be impossible then? Perhaps that Blondie would accept an award on the stage of any film festival? Or the lame horror novels written by my grandpa would win the Nobel Prize in Literature. I mean, you can always expect the unexpected, my friends.
Yeah, I guess. What's your idol thing?
Great. It's high time. They're not here. Only me. Play some horror music.
Alright,
Soon the bloody tsunami will rush to me. Those suspects in helmet will call my name.
Alright, we already saw the greeting, so let's go for morning.
Years later, I think I have obtained some techniques to balance the tasks and a taste of art. Yes, the secret lies in the brilliance of caffeine.
Okay, buddy.
You should try your breakfast with bloody horror movies. That would definitely be a stimulating appetizer.
I don't have time to spend at least an hour and a half eating breakfast, my guy.
Fine. I've always considered The Man in the Frame to be a conventional horror story. but when I myself stay in a frame, I finally realize it's really horrific.
He's talking about in the main menu when sometimes the characters go in the background and get framed. It's kind of funny.
Hey, come over here. Yeah, you must be good at this. What should I sneak out and eat for the night? Haven't you furtively eaten hash browns in bed? You are that Verdin? Come on, I don't buy it.
Let me see that.
Fine.
Yeah. All right, let's go for this.
Be careful. This is not a pair of normal glasses. This is the limited edition sold during the premiere of X-Ray Monkey Man. The groove design inside is quite distinctive. Anyway, as a fans-oriented souvenir, it is fantastic.
All right.
High five? Handshake? Or... Oh, good. It's a document for approval. Hey, we made a consensus! Never attack from the back! Oh. Alright. Okay, I get it. I will pay attention to my crooked back. Just be gentle next time.
Damn, Vertin, how hard did you hit him in his back? Yeah, watch out for your posture. But you can't be slouching all the time. It's bad for your back.
Horror is not scary. It's more like an unexecuted punishment, a pending cause of death, and a confusing puzzle. It is like the panic when you find there's only a half piece of tissue and a tiny piece of banana peel in the tissue box after you defecate.
What?
Do you get it?
No, not really. What the fuck are you talking about?
No matter what you do, you'll always succeed. Like no matter what resistance my bullets encountered, they would eventually shoot into the enemy's head.
Uh-huh.
Could you grant me another leave for a day? I have a friend at Laplace. Yeah, I need to help him with his little experiment. Don't worry, we will grab you a sample product if we succeed.
You have friends? Really? From the event, we really didn't expect you to have all that many friends.
The twins living next door are really good at roleplay. It's rare to see such skillful actresses like them. They are not acting? Oh. I think I should change rooms.
Yeah, I don't think those twins that drowned pets should really be good roommate materials.
Usually in a horror movie, blondies are depicted as a sacred figure or a cheesy one. They can be an angel or a fool. You know, the virtual world is really judgmental. When we fall into it, our face will automatically fit into a certain mold, and then we will become someone else.
Huh, that's very insightful, Horrorpedia.
We all experienced the past where we were denied, distressed, and lost. That beautiful building, the white cradle, cut off all the inconsistent parts from us in order to shape us into a better self. All in all, I am relieved that I am still me and you are still you.
Is he talking about SPDM? See Through the Truth, limited series frames, 12 teardrops. Utterly unremarkable black frame glasses. They come with perks only a fan could notice, and an explicitly high price tag. Yeah, this product was only sold during the premiere of X-Ray Monkey Man. There weren't many buyers, and there are just 300 prototypes left on the market. Green tie clip. A green tie clip, it's 300 Sharpodont. It's quite cheap, I think. For a black and white checkered world. Just a dash of mania and the routine needed. Not a bad pairing. Gadget set, invaluable. Retro-style automatic targeting and firing system resembling a firearm. It includes various assembly tools and special ammunition components. Containing liquid or powder, it can be used to create various thriller atmospheres or attack effects. Oh, so it's a prop, not an actual gun. Okay, that's funny. Unsleeping. People are always seeking new thrills, just like plants waiting to draw nutrients from farther, deeper places. We grow tired of the ground we've already tread. However, much those sensory stimulations once made our hearts pound and our pulses race, the zest is always leached on like the flavor from chewed gum. At that point, we take a final taste and then spit them out without a second thought. The failed researcher, the forgotten horror novelist, and the human who outlived his usefulness were spat out along with them. He lived in a cramped and messy studio apartment and scraped buy on fast food and second-hand retail. But they were wrong, my clever boy. His grandfather, the best in the world, who taught him the beauty of technology and the reason, and brought warmth into the home, gave him a wink. We'll love these awful movies until the day we die. We'll love these awful movies until the day we die, the boy cheered. So it was his grandpa who gave him the love for old horror movies, huh? Student disciplinary action form, office copy. Oh boy. Name, Joshua. Gender male, age 5. Date of violation, December 20th, 19 something something. I guess they're censoring the date, huh? In a random dormitory inspection carried out in Academy Year 1, Semester 1, Week 17, the student was found after having concealed several horror film themed magazines in his room under his mattress. Such conduct is prohibited under Article 12, Prohibited Items in the School of Primary Defense for Mankind and Safety Regulations, which reads, students are prohibited from owning, carrying, or distributing literary or artistic works espousing ideologies not advocated by the St. Pablo Foundation. Proposed actions. Confiscation of the prohibited items followed by the demerit in accordance with the School of Primary Defense of Mankind Safety Regulations and the School's Primary Defense of Mankind Assessment System. So the poor guy couldn't even keep his horror movies. They weren't even horror movies, they were horror magazines, which is even worse. Not even a little bit. It just paints a bad picture of the SPDM, which we already knew from Chapter 3, right? Alright, Pandora, let's see what your interview is. What made you so infatuated by the 80s horror films, from a standpoint of logic and reason? Oh, they're so preposterous dead and wild they couldn't possibly happen. They're the antithesis of logic and reason. Is that what you mean? Sounds like you already understand what I'm getting at then. Aha! Well, you're dead wrong there, ma'am. Not only do they have rigorous internal logic, where once the rules are grasped, survival is possible, even the bloodiest, darkest places. It supersedes logic and reason. One could say that logic and reason in humanity were born out of fear. Do you believe fear is the root of your problems? No, but very close. Fear is an instinct, like a catalyst that drives us to find a solution to the problem. Be it logic, reason, or passion, 80s horror films make this truth and display it plainly for the audience. Yeah, right. That was Horrorpedia, the horror-loving doofus. That he is. He is a bit of a know-it-all, I will say, but if we're trapped in a horror movie, I know who we can count on, huh? Alright, let's see who else we got here.
You'd better really have something important to say.
And here comes Blonney. Blonney has a very cool arcane skill. Her novels come to life. Her horror novels come to life, which is a pretty cool thing. It reminds me of Made in Heaven. Not Made in Heaven. It reminds me from Bohemian Rhapsody from JoJo Part 6. Let's take a look at her outfits. We've got the first outfit with a really funny Woodidas. Very, very funny. You really couldn't get more 80s if you tried. The jacket, the nails, the hair, especially the hair. Look at that. The hair, the earrings. You couldn't get more 80s if you tried. The leg warmers. The second one is a bit more how do you say it? It's still very feminine. It has a Chucky doll over here, right here. She still has the Woodidas shirt, but it's hidden behind the jacket. Also, we have a little Jason mask here, as well as I think this is a good guy doll too. I don't know if it's a Chucky doll or not. Pink lady. She'll take you to see one of her friends of hers. Just remember, run faster. And this is the I didn't get this outfit because I didn't really buy the battle passes, but it's here if you want to see it. It's a cowboy themed thing, which is interesting. No, that's what I meant. See, it's very fun. It has the top seems like a normal a cowboy stuff, but if you look below, you can see the skirt was ripped, and she uses her coat or some sort to use as a skirt. There's blood all over her, so it's a nice contrast, I will say. This is the story of the thing. You can take a look at it, I guess. You want to act in a local tourist promo? Sorry, my weekend's fully booked. The girl waves politely, smiling as she turns down the eager talent scout, just like she always does. But then she calls out to the retreating figure. Wait, there's a party I might be able to cancel. She reaches into her bag and grabs a dream-filled notebook. Maybe it's time to make better use of opportunities that fall into her lap. Fine, I'll model and act, but I'll be directing and editing myself, deal? Grindhouse, MILF film, pre-horror flicks. She adores them all, but she's never been satisfied with just playing the pretty textbook girl in front of the lens. Maybe this will be the shot at shattering the cliché. Good on you, Blonney. And now let's take a look at what it thinks. An Arcanist artwork completed on July 22nd, first brought on exhibition in the 1990s. It has remained on display for 20 years. It was originally displayed in the southeastern United States before being moved to the northeast. Damn. Medium, design drawing. Afflictus, reflective from relatives from Venus, star, monster designer. Fragrance, flora, rose, pink pepper, raspberry flower, papyrus. Papyrus is an interesting one, I will say. Alright, let's take a look at you.
This is where the Arcanists live. To be fair, not a bad taste. But the place needs a touch of bright colors. Do you mind me changing the curtains?
Do what you want in your room.
Ugh, I hate rainy days. No parties, no outings, only getting stuck with these morons to play some board games. Alright, take a card.
Alright, what's your plans for the future?
People once loved disco, then hated it, then killed it, and now they resurrected it in electropop. Everything can happen in the future, dear.
Yeah, that is true.
Where's the lie? The party was very successful. Even the host has sneaked away.
Okay. We already saw the greeting, so morning.
Always having skimmed milk and cereal for breakfast. Or do you think you can get slim by a poke of the needle like a balloon? Breakfast first, then some shopping in the mall. Then I gotta take Jessica to the park for a pet's day out in the afternoon. After that, we are driving to the beach to have a nighttime barbecue. Oh, I also need to take a few shots of Jessica for my movie. Hurry up! The day is insanely packed.
Blonney, don't take Jessica to a pet park.
This assignment has ruined my nightlife. Are you here to show sympathy? Then will you write the essay for me?
Nope. You have to do it yourself, buddy.
Buy a disco ball and put on your best clothes. I'm gonna show you how to dance.
Alright, I guess we better call Sputnik then. She has experience working as a disco ball.
Do you see anything different on me today? I have my hair made. You have no idea how to appreciate beauty.
Yeah, Vertin, I think Vertin, the only thing she does is just tie her hair into a... I don't even know what the hell that is, a bun? It will look like a messy bun, and basically that's it.
Interesting. It's been a while since I last met someone who would start with holding hands.
Okay, that's forward, Vertin. Then again, Vertin really likes touching people. And barging in, apparently.
This is just a random boring doll. I bought it just to match my clothes. Who cares if it's expensive or a limited edition? Dad will pay for it anyway.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, it is a Chucky Chucky doll.
What a boring question this is. Why do I have to answer it?
Don't need to get embarrassed, just, Blonney.
Maybe it's not so bad to join your little club. You are much funnier than those dorks in college. Yes, I know I have quick mood swings, lack of vision, and I'm self-centered, frivolous, and fickle. But this is who I am. You should learn to bear with me.
Yeah, in a way, that's what makes you you.
You always seem so certain of your life. What a boring life to live like this.
Huh.
Sweetheart, is she a movie star? She is definitely blessed by the god of fashion. I have to find a way to talk to her.
Oh, it's nice. They when they mention other characters in the thing, they also Horrorpedia also mentioned the twins, which unfortunately I don't have them at 100%. I have them like 80 something. Maybe next time I'll do them first. Monologue.
Is it true that humans and arcanists cannot live in harmony? We have so many things in common to share and enjoy, like movies. As I learned about humans from the movies, so can humans learn about arcanists. It's just that no one has made such a movie yet.
Looks like you can be the first, oh my god, I'm really just messing up the names, aren't I? You're not Jessica, you're Blonney. Alright, candy-colored accessories. Garish in color and cheap in texture. They go well with the golden hues without obscuring the luster of long, meticulous cared-for tresses. Every blonde girl ought to have some, and they're easy to come by. Pink necklace. They're cheap too, yeah. That one's more expensive. 10 clear drops, huh? A seasonal release from a young luxury brand. The respondent couldn't care less about its disastrous price tag, or even a more disastrous design, as long as it makes her look like a genuine pink lady. And the doll plushie. 8.5 clear drops. Merch from the sensational Lil Scarface series. This doll was sold for a limited time at a premiere. It was not cheap, though playful shoving, squealing, and giggling with her female companions, she skillfully pocketed under the pretense of congeniality. Interesting. Alright, youth. The youth of an era. The youth of the United States. The boy danced to Jackson, while the girls donned cotton headbands, clashing wristbands, and rainbow stockings. It was a world of twisting, shaking, and sweating on both sides of the television screen. The new house her parents moved to was also on the vibrant stage, or rather, in a spiraling roulette wheel. Wealth was the hand that spun the wheel, spinning into a blur of color. As for the secret base of the hushed forest, the cool placid lake, and the huge ferocious monsters of her fantasies, these gloomy hues were swallowed up by some brightly colored variant until eventually all she could see was a mottled mass. It's okay, don't worry, they haven't disappeared, it just became part of that mottled blur. Dorm 402's message board. I guess this is her college time, huh? September 13th. Blonney, you there? You remember Professor Mikhail's moved the film class to this afternoon, right? I'm going over with Danny. You dummies, I'm in the second row. Did you really sleep right until the class? I was out doing aerobics this morning, heading over in a bit. You can leave the missing persons posters at home this time. Oh, Blonney. September 18. Dear Blonney, I have 2 movie tickets. Would you like to go see, to put them to good use with me? Hank. For you, Blonney, do me a favor and tell your dears that I'm not your secretary. Thanks. Here's a tip for your hard work, a $20 bill. September 19. New party tonight at 8, ladies. I need to buy a new handbag, and you guys should also think about wearing something nice. Meet me at the mall at 4. We have art history exam this afternoon, Blonney. Okay, that's funny. And now the interview with Pandora. What makes you choose your major? I know you love cinema and heard stories about your stubbornness, but I'd like to discuss something deeper. A reason. Okay, it's simple. I think I have a gift. You can't deny that if you've seen my design drawings, I don't want to waste that gift. Every arcanist knows that these gifts whisper in the crevices of their spine late at night, not so as not to be forgotten. Exactly. The job is not to bury myself, not to let the world lose my buried monsters, or they'll regret it for the rest of their lives. So when those sandwiches were put in front of me, I threw them out. I admire your ambition. You'd also admire my abilities. Alright, Blonney. I do like Blonney. She has that little, she's a little cocky, but, I think she serves her archetype kind of nicely. The girl who likes horror movies but doesn't want to seem like she likes horror movies to look cool in front of her peers. It's a fun archetype, I will say. Alright, next up is good old Jessica.
I'm so glad we meet again. When you were gone, I collected every hair of yours and put them in that drawer.
Jessica, stop doing that creepy shit. Please don't collect my hair. Anyways, can take a look at her outfits. Right here we can see the normal outfit. Poor girl has a tag in her ear, probably from the Xeno experiments. You can also see she has wearing a straight jacket. with flowers in her hair. And I don't know what this is. This is like fungus. I think I've seen some people think this is fungi or something like that, growing in her and not ice. Because yeah, it wouldn't make all that much sense. I mean, the lakeside can be pretty cold, but not so cold that it literally freezes your legs. The next one is a bit more mystical, I guess you could say. Looking at the splash art, we can see she looks like a fairy in a way, you know, or a nymph. She looks like a nymph from myth. Going into the water like the Lady of the Lake. She has her outfit is a lot more open. Yeah, this does look a lot more like fungi, right? You can take a look at this. It's not ice at all. It looks like things that grow on the ground, and it's a lot more spread out from her. You can see it go all the way to her legs, up her legs. She's wearing the straitjacket a little more loosely, and yeah, that's it, pretty much. And also, she has 2 more outfits. The Dreamland one, it's kind of fun. It reminds me of Alice in Wonderland in a way. I guess it makes sense a little bit. And finally, we have the definitive version of how Centaur would wear pants at the front. Just like we're holding a pillow, which is kind of fun. Let's take a look at the story of this. A river connects all friends, passing old ones, meeting new ones. So the further I go, the more friends I'll make. Under the clear moonlight, the girl hugged her pillow, counting fingers, murmuring, I have to remind them, the ground beneath the bed isn't a lawn, it's water. When they talk, tie down the anchor, or the bed will float away. Moonlight sparkled across the river, brushing her cheeks. She slowly closed her eyes, and then rowing, paddled from one side only. Then I can spin in place and make up a story about the river fairy. The waters keep flowing, carrying a curious heart in a new dream. And then we have the newest one, the Lovers Arcana. There we go, the Lovers. Yep, it's fun. It's an interesting one. I'm not seeing how much this actually reflects the Lovers, since especially there's only 1 character here instead of 2. I think that the tarot card normally has 2 people in it, but it's very fantastical. It reminds me of a elf in a way. She still has her ear tag, but it's more playful now, not that depressing little thing you put on cows and things like that. Yeah, she still has her fungus in her, like her eye one. But yeah, let me see the other one. The other one didn't have an ear tag, which is interesting. Alright, off to take a look at it. Jessica, a spirit's artwork completed on April 11th. It was first exhibited in the 1990s. It's been on display for 27 years. Originally exhibited in the Republic of Ireland, it was later moved to the state of Florida in the southeastern part of the United States of America. So yeah, from what I think, people have been speculating that Jessica is a mixture of changeling from Ireland and a Wendigo, or a North American fantastical creature, a mix of the two. Yeah, I guess it makes some sort of sense, since she is a artificial critter, I guess you could say. Medium, mushroom blanket, so it is a mushroom. Interesting. A flatus, lake bed branch, plant, green lake fairy. Fragrant notes. Cypre, narcissus, moss, add limes, soil, and musk. Makes sense.
Hello, dear friend. From now on, we can be together all the time. I thought of many things we can do. Firstly, let's roll in the grass.
Okay, I guess that's a cute thing to do.
When the sun was out, I would bathe in the lake and enjoy a nap on the shore until my fur was warm and dry beneath the sunlight.
Swimming in lakes is relaxing. You don't have to worry about waves. The water is not salty at all. It's nice. It's very nice. I do on my summer vacations. I do go swimming on lakes. It's very comforting when there's not like a billion people there as well. Normally when it's more alone.
There is a place far away from here, and it's grander, more wonderful than all places. Place where I can see the stars twinkling in the sky, and snakes dancing in the grass, as well as other things you've talked about and things I've always wanted to see. these beautiful things. 97, 98, 99, 100. I'm coming for you.
Very nice, not creepy at all, Jessica.
I'm so glad we meet again.
Oh, no, I already
When
saw
we
this
were
one.
in the morning, the sun would pierce through the fog, then float across the tops of the trees and the mountains. I bet it tastes like a raw egg.
What? Okay.
Your bed feels even softer than my haystack. Can I crawl in and join you?
I don't know about Verton's bed, but mine is like a queen bed, I guess you could say. So I guess there's space.
My friends are here. Do you want to meet them? Shh. Look. Over there behind the curtain. Can you see his feet?
Okay, this just reminds me of the Scary Movie 1, where Ghostface is hiding behind the curtain and he just says, "Oh, I can see your feet." It's just funny. That movie is really funny.
Do you prefer demons or ghosts? Or the man with the chainsaw? I have to figure out what your favorite monster is, so that I can better surprise you under your bed.
Uh-huh. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's a pretty good film.
Every time I took that medicine, I could hear a soft, light, whistling melody. Whistling. What is whistling?
You don't know what whistling is? Well, I guess we have to teach you, huh?
My hands in your hands, friendship never ends. You can take me to any places you go.
Oh, that's cute.
This is my ring. Look how snug and lovely it is. It embraces me, securing me to my clothes and to the bed. Maybe we could use a ring like this to stay together.
Oh, the belt, huh? This from the straitjacket, I guess. Yeah, I'll skip on that. I don't want to get attached to you, literally.
In that dream, that strange dream, the grassy meadows are waiting for me, and I can hear the joyful whistle of the wind.
Okay.
Raise your left hoof, then your right hoof. Well done! Now, just like in the training, jump up and roar! When I was Anne, I spoke as gently as possible, like this. Slow down, hold in the chuckles, and resist the urge to give those annoying people a good kick. That was difficult, but I did it. You should say something nice to me, like those people in white do.
I guess that's how they rehabilitate her, in quotations. They gave her praise for good things, huh? Like, for common sense things like, don't kick people, even if they are annoying.
I saw them put a leash on that puppy. Are you going to do the same thing to me? It's okay, I will be fine with it. As long as we're together, it doesn't matter who is on which end of the leash.
Oh, well, I guess she's into that. Go on. Go on your date with Blonney in the pet garden or whatever, I guess. Go on.
There's a special scent on you. It smells like honey. Or iris. Or a crushed ladybug. I like it.
Crushed ladybug is a... How the hell would that smell like? Like crushed bug, right?
Why do my friends always have more important things to do? We ought to cut those unwanted shots from our lives, keeping the takes which record our best and sweetest moments.
Oh, ear tag. Yeah, I was kind of wondering that. 25 Charpodontes. Solid ear tag from a long string of code recorded on it. Long research is easily distinguished between study samples. Impervious to the elements and almost impossible to lose. With this little yellow tag, your name isn't that important. Damn, that is... kinda sucks. It does say changeling. That's kind of interesting. If you squint, you do see changeling. White flower. Invaluable. These seasonal blooming flowers are mainly white and have a fresh fragrance. Its stem is buried deep in the yolk-colored braid, entangled in the steady loops, neither breaking from a sprint or leaping into the air while it dislodge them. 85.6 sharpodonties, restraining belt. A durable leather belt, a fine example of Xeno's army tanning techniques. Its broad application includes accessorizing uniforms, securing equipment, and restraining patients. As an accent piece, it elegantly partitions the white lining, and it can also help keep problems firmly fastened in an iron bed frame. Ooh, man, that is a dark thing to say, huh? I guess it makes sense. Poor Jessica here was a military experiment. With lingering fears about scientific experimentation and unknown radiation, mental illness and homicidal mania have returned to the thriller movie scene, apparently accompanied by esoteric eccentricity of gothic horror. Bioengineering and psychology are more accessible topics that handily enable viewers to use their imagination to inject a few chilling frights into their humdrum lives. They're also more gradually actualized. Huh. At least, that's what the Xeno Arms Academy believes. They set about in search for a suitable experiment site, the Green Lake, that mysterious forest enshrouded in mist in mycelium. So it is the mycelium, I'm gonna guess. Ezra's gonna have a hell of a time with you, Jessica. Enter the Academy research sites. The crux of this secluded, desolate place is the great variety of critters that inhabit it, as well as the extraordinary pace in which they have evolved. The combination of militarized critter weapons Authorization Act was quickly approved, and the North America Deer Woman, it was out of Wendigo, it was a Deer Woman, was the first to be brought to the program, followed by a changeling in the form all the way from Ireland. Okay, so that's the thing. An American Deer Woman and a changeling. But this was just a beginning. If it all goes according to plan, they'll only just be getting started. The laws of nature, ethics and morality, the identities and confinements of these poor creatures, mad scientists don't care about such things. Yeah. Not only was she treated poorly by Xeno, her parents were also very badly treated. Week 3. Group A Alpha 3, experiment failed. Test subject experienced severe adhesive reaction to zero lizard gene. All test subjects from Group E Gamma demonstrated abnormal limb growth. All test subjects in Group C have died. May, Week 2. All test subjects from Group A Alpha 3 have died. Test subjects in Group E showed varying degrees of aberrations. Physical fitness test results did not meet expectations. The experiment was discontinued. August, Week 4. All test subjects in Group D have died. Group B test subjects are generally slow growing, but a lifespan of roughly 1.5 that of humans, as is, their development in 18 months is roughly approximated to a young 1-year-old human infant. Physical data equivalent to a 1-year-old human growth and development is projected to be obtained from the last test subject after 6 months' time. Week 3. Osteogenesis imperfecta, prevalent in the test subject of Group B. Test subject 6 of Group B Gamma 5 is showing healthy bone development. All test subjects of Group A Alpha have died. Jesus Christ, this is just horrific to read. January, Week 1. All test subjects in Group A experienced abnormal cellular autography and died. Group B experiment terminated for all but test subject Gamma 506. February, Week 4. All other experimentation terminated apart from subject Gamma 506. Subject Gamma 506's gene function succeeded. Physical conditions good, showing the physical trait of the Deer Woman and the intelligence of the changeling. The test subject is learning human speech relatively well, and is clearly responds to the sound of the Irish whistle. Oh, I guess that's why she was remembering the whistle, huh? Its ability to continue to be cultivated and observed. Are you my new friend? No, I'm just here to conduct an interview. An interview? What's an interview? Are you going to tell me a story? Just the opposite. It's your story that we need to hear. Oh, that's great. I'm really good at telling stories. What kind of story do you want to hear? One with more blood or one with more brains? I think you misunderstood, Miss Jessica. You mentioned once that you had many strange dreams. Why don't we start with those? Okay, those dreams I couldn't remember then, clearly till I heard the music before. Before that, I barely dreamed at all. I dreamed of soft grassy plains. I've never been anywhere like that before, but they were in my head. They made me kind of sad. I'm not sure why, but sometimes I'd cry. I'd cry a little less when there were people in my nest with me. So you left those people there. I always thought I needed friends. Lots of them. So the poor girl, I think she fought of the fields of Ireland, is my guess. Genetically, not implanted, but away. She wanted to go to the fields of Ireland. In a way, that's interesting. Alright, that was Jessica. The creepy changeling that only wanted to make friends. Alright, off to Fairy.
Stop talking. It's time for a checkup. Please open your mouth.
Here comes to Fairy, the creepy sounding lady, who's actually very sweet deep down. Let's take a look. There's not all that much difference between her 1 Ascension and Ascension 2. She has the braces to keep the 2 fairies from stealing her teeth. She has a collection of teeth and a golden one over here. Coop of Death, 2 fairies over here. The cool leather jacket and the, how'd you call this in English? I don't remember. Collange, that's why we call it in Portuguese. Leggings, I think that's what I call it. Got the little belt here and a few pins. I think that's that's not Laplace, that's the foundation thing over there. That's kind of interesting. The second one, she basically just takes her jacket off. You can see she's sleeping. Either that's just a normal kid, or that's a representation of her brother, or even herself as younger. You can see a UFO, a few 2 fairies around. She's about to eat one, as one does. And one hiding over here. She's trapping other 2 fairies here. That's pretty interesting. He has a briefcase here. Yeah, you can see she took off her jacket. She has a thumb ring. That's kind of interesting. A few 2 fairies are now alive here. That's interesting. Next we have the a little fun one, the tennis one for the Uluru games. Human's Game of Wisdom. 2 fairy, the key of winning elegantly and something. It's fun. It's fine. It's not really all that interesting. It's just a tennis outfit. That is a bit too tight for her, apparently. Let's take a look at the 2D one. It's kind of crazy that they animated the sweat coming off of her. The headband's kind of cute. The braces are still here. She isn't smiling, so we can't see the braces inside her mouth. I do find it funny that the 2 fairies are holding tennis balls. She has the thing has a 2 fairy in it. That's kind of fun. The racket. She has new shoes. And yeah. I don't know how time accurate this thing is, but I don't really think it's all that time accurate. This one's very interesting. This is the Discovery Channel collaboration skin, and it's framed as if being filmed, which is kind of fitting, considering that it's a Discovery Channel thing. You can see instead of we have the 2 fairies here, but they're more of like fairies from more traditional English things, right? We have Stonehenge around because that's the main thing they're going for. We have a druid look for 2 fairy here. We also have Stonehenge here in the little thing. What else do we have? She's bare feet here, which makes sense. All connected to nature and all like that. All of that. You have some druid symbols over here, and she still has her iconic braces here. This is kind of interesting. Her life 2D, there we go. She has her braces here. She's smiling. Maybe she has her eyes, her mouth open. You have a flower crown. The 2 fairies are green, maybe symbolizing there aren't 2 fairies at this point. Flower in her hand, barefoot. Have some chimes here. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think this is a druid symbol, definitely. She still has her teeth around her thing. That's cool. No story for these ones, unfortunately. Oops, wrong one. And there we go, an Arcanist artwork completed on November 27th. It was first exhibited in the 1990s and has remained on display for 25 years. Originally on display at Cheshire, Great Britain, it's currently touring the world. Yeah, so she was born in Britain, but basically never lived there for long periods of time. We saw that in like Uluru. She's basically an outsider in her own birthplace. Which is kind of an interesting conundrum, really. Medium. Tooth Amanel. Afflatus, Veil of the Stars. Star. Rearing Tooth Spirits. Fragrance. Aromatics. Aldehydes. Cashmere. Black pepper and cedar. She does look like she would smell of cedar, wouldn't she?
Hello. I think we've been acquainted. I'm responsible for your teeth. Every night you fall asleep.
Also, she's an interesting character that she met Vertin when she was a kid. She was basically her, I'm not gonna say her mom, but in a way, she was basically her mom. She was basically, I think, the only adult who actually cared about her. She was the doctor, the dentist, basically. So yeah, in a way, she's an interesting dynamic with Vertin.
The soil has become crumbly, aerated, suitable for plantation, and conducive for the dry body to regenerate. Heading towards the future means growing up, means teeth falling, and new life. Everyone here gnashes their teeth and covers their mouth with their hands. Come on, today is not a revenge day.
Yeah, I also do grind my teeth a little bit. It's a problem. My canines are definitely warned from me doing that. I have to use a plastic protection piece on my mouth so I don't grind my teeth raw while I sleep.
Toothpaste or tooth powder will make your teeth glowing and healthy. Mint makes your teeth courageous, fearless, and never escape from the gum.
That's a cute way of saying that to children, I will say.
Harvest last night brings a big breakfast delight.
That sounds like an expression, huh?
Kids in early childhood are hyperactive at night. They are energetic and have mood swings. The demand for bedtime stories is a bottomless pit, so I always prepare songs for them. Please, have a sweet dream. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb.
Ah, that's sweet. She has such a soothing voice. I would fall asleep hearing her talk, would I? Yeah, I definitely would.
I have seen those tooth fairies flying in the air with their hair dancing freely. Inside their gold string pockets lie the fragile baby teeth collected from the kids.
Alright.
You need to act swiftly and gently, firmly and precisely to grab hold of the neck, wings, or the back. Don't hurt their abdomen and ankles. Like this.
Damn. She really just gave us a tutorial on how to capture tooth fairies.
The color is flexible. My black overcoat helps expose every single pathogenic tooth.
Okay.
Green anaconda, wolf, shark. Animal teeth really surprise me. I have collected a lot, but only the baby teeth of kids would amaze me.
Yeah,
These teeth are soft, delicate, and irreplaceable.
That's not creepy at all, Tooth Fairy.
Well done. Here is a toffee for you.
Okay, that's all better then.
Your baby teeth. 20 in total. They're all here.
Okay, so she collected all of Vertin's teeth. Makes sense, right? She knew her since she was a baby.
My family and I walked among humans and arcanists. We gained possessions, status, and a decent life. But at the same time, we lose friends, belongingness, and recognition by society.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck between the two sides, aren't you?
I remember you, Miss Vertin. When you were still a student, when I was the dentist there, you always visited the clinic. All those headaches you had were faked, but the wounds and bruises were real.
Oh.
I think your frequent visits were for the comforting candies, weren't they? Because you always smiled when you received the toffees.
Jesus Christ. Yep, a lot more reason to just hate the SPDM and the Foundation. Jesus Christ, man.
When in human society, do as the humans do. when in the Arcanist community, do as the Arcanists do. Too attached to your identity always causes arrogance, and consequentially brings destruction.
Just for an exception, let's hear her ultimate.
We all fall down.
She has such a good singing voice, I will say. Items. 270 clear drops. Custom metal braces offering a fair balance between functionality and convenience. Simple and secure enough to defend against any threat. For her, this is ideal. A glass jar, 80 Sharpodonty, pretty cheap. An old worn glass jar with an aluminum lid that once contained jam, or perhaps pickles. Nothing else is known to effectively contain the winged tooth fairies. It's a commonplace item, but ingenious uses can be found for it with enough imagination. Baby tooth necklace, invaluable. These teeth were extracted from different mouths, small, fine, and with pristine white enamel. Their beauty is more befitting of a necklace than a string of pearls. Treatment of the tooth decay. People have long paid close attention to teeth. Far back as ancient Egypt, people were already coming up with ways to protect and care for the teeth. In ancient Greece, in the time of Pericles, Hippocrates, the father of medicine, wrote down the treatment of tooth decay and gum disease. The electric dental drill was first patented in the 1870s. In 1905, a German scientist first synthesized a local anesthetic drug, procaine. But none of this has anything to do with the 7-year-old tooth fairy. She was just a child, plagued with toothaches. The agonizing pain was like a congenital curse. Curled up on her side alone, with her eyes wide open, she gently endured countless 8-hour countdowns until she saw that little thing making off with a baby tooth from beneath her pillow. Without a moment's hesitation, she reached out and caught the little creature by the belly between her fingers. It struggled persistently, striking her arms in wind dust. But that didn't matter. She instinctively inserted it into her mouth. The wings melted in her tongue, releasing an aroma of garnelia mixed with peppermint oil. Then came the body, sour at first, and it gave way into the alarming sweetness of slightly spoiled raspberries. She ate slowly, but was it quickly? She had already lost track of time. When she finally emerged from the sensation, the toothaches were gone. She knew her teeth would never hurt again. Tooth Fairy quietly laid back upon the downy bed. She licked her the glittering scale dust from her hand, recalling the Tooth Fairy's taste as it burst in her mouth. She remembers how it cursed her to have her teeth stolen until she has left miserable old crone. But she hasn't concerned. I have to become a dentist, she thought. I have to let every arcanist taste this. So yeah, she was pretty crazy even by birth. Who the hell eats a goddamn wild animal? It's like suddenly eating a wild bat or something. Those things kind of reminds me of bats. So yeah, can you imagine you're having your tooth hurts, suddenly see a thing on your bed and just eat it? That's crazy. Even if it cures you, it's still crazy thing to do. What's this? Her collections. Oh, her teeth collection. Interesting. Republic of France, Paris. Human child. Upper right for her first baby molar. 79. Republic of France. Nord de Pas-Calais. Albino Olitiao. Lower right 12 Thang. 186. Republic of Poland. Lower Vistula River. European bison. Third pair of incisors. 322. King of Sweden. Lake Valin. Nordic deer woman. Upper left incisor. Huh. Interesting. That they have a deer woman here in her thing. Hello, Miss Campbell. Hello. You can call me Tooth Fairy. Ah, yes. I'm familiar with the title, though I'm surprised you go by the same name as those spirits. I was under the impression that you were on hostile terms. Perhaps, but I don't feel that way about them. They single-mindedly collect teeth and strictly follow their own rules. That's all. I capture, keep, and kill them, and make medicine. But, in a way, I admire their approach. Seems like you form a unique relationship. I don't deny that. So, are you simply inclined to go by the name, or do you resent your family name? Some people born to Arcanist families certainly feel like that way, and to my knowledge, I mean no offense in saying this, the Campbells have always held a delicate position. No offense taken. I'm well aware of the Campbell's family methodology. Alright, that's interesting. Tooth Fairy does feel like, as I said before, like Verton's mom more than any other of the characters. She basically is the only one who cared for her when she was a little child, and even then it was just doing the bare minimum of like giving a child in pain candy when she went to her office. Which, yeah, you can see this is like this is just the bare minimum. Can you imagine? I can't imagine the way what Verton went through. Well, I mean, you can sort of imagine, like from the chapter 3, from that Promised Neverland looking chapter. Yeah, damn. I do enjoy Tooth Fairy. She has that how do you call it? And she's not a wolf in sheep clothing. She's sheep in wolf's clothing, I will say. A very interesting character, I will say. I think. Alright, I think we have time for one more. Let's go to Texas, to good old Tuesday.
Now, should I put the playhouse near those books? No, that might just put folks on edge. How about the greenhouse? That'd be a fine choice. Or next to those Nixie tubes. The light does fit the hallway. Oh, hello there.
And here it goes, Tuesday. She has a lot of similarities to Jessica in a way. But unlike Jessica's sweet innocence of just wanting to make friends, Tooth Fairy has a lot more of an insidious, just wanting to thing to just wasn't wanting to cause fear. And I do think it works well from her being a poison. It's not an actual poison, but a poison of the mind, if you would. Take a look at her normal outfit. It does look like a maid, but like something is wrong with her. Her eyes are pale, almost like she's dead. She's very pale, especially for one living in Texas. That place is basically just sun, from what I know. You can see the mysterious baby swaddle, the interesting flowers, the keys for the apartments. The dress looks like it's scales, and she's wearing high heels with no socks. Also, she has the little thing. Also, short hair. I think it fit her quite nicely. Doesn't really matter here. And here goes the Miss Horror. Interesting decor we have. We have a skinned animal here. We got blood going into the television. We have a crocodile or alligator over here. We have... Are these balloons, like from it? Something like that. We have moths going to a flame. You have a mirror shattered and handprints going into there. We got a ghost, spooky ghost over here. She looks like a 1920s dance outfit, honestly. I think it's more the veil than anything. She has the alligator thing. We show it was in the baby's and the swaddle. She's wearing socks now, like leggings. She has a Bloody Mary in her, I think that's what they call the drink, right? A Bloody Mary, which is fitting. And she looks a lot more happy. And we also have the room 707 over here, slightly ajar. It's definitely an interesting thing. You can take a look at here. Yeah, it's just the crocodile over here, the headpiece, a little bit more of exposed. We can see she has a long-ass neck. And she's wearing socks now. Then we have this one. It's the from the 1.5 anniversary, I think. Yeah, it's a different type. She's a snake. Yeah, I don't know much about this myth. I know it's based on a Chinese myth, but I don't really know much about it, so I can't really speak much. We have a banner here with the Chinese mountains. We have a jar of, and that's pretty much it. I don't really know much about it. She looks pretty cool in here too. Yep, not really much I can say. You have the serpent here with the thing that looks like a fly trap. Very interesting. It's moving, so it's alive. That's interesting. So it probably is a Venus flytrap. Interesting. All right, oops, not that one. Let's see what you're up to. Tuesday, an Arcanist work exhibited in the 1990s for 21 years, completed in the fall of October 30th, originally exhibited in Texas, USA, and later stored in the St. Pavlov Foundation. So yeah, that's pretty much where she is right now. Medium Fear, yeah. Afflatus, Phantom of Hospitality, Spirit, Motel Owner. Fragrance notes, Floral, Narcissus, Honeysuckle, Ginger, Basil. She would smell like ginger, would she?
It's such a pleasure to see you again. I see there are children here. If you're in need of a babysitter, I'd be more than happy to look after them.
You just want to scare them, lady. I think the twins will like you, but the other ones, maybe TTT would like you too, but I don't think what the others would like you.
Back in town, everyone would be busy on a bright day like this. The harvesters roaring as they reaped the wheat, stacking it pile after pile. Of course, no one ever paid me any mind. Shame they were too occupied to enjoy my stories.
I guess she was feeling alone in the in her town of origin, huh? Before she went to the motel.
Naturally, as mankind keeps on progressing, fear will also take on new forms. But it always comes full circle. Doesn't matter what era. Some fears stay the same. Folks will still be afraid of falling from heights, of many-legged insects and slithering snakes, of being naked in public, and of having their long-hidden secrets revealed.
Yeah, it's pretty much a human instinct at this point. Some of those. The heights makes sense. Like, from what I know, heights, loud noises, and the dark are pretty common things, are pretty intrinsical fears for human. Primal fears, I guess you could call them. Huh. Alright, what else do you have?
Patience is a virtue. Always has been.
Yeah, I guess.
Now,
Oh, no,
the
I didn't.
motel sign says free breakfast, but I never prepare it. I guess they're never in the mood to eat after a night's stay.
You crazy bitch.
Oh, you're awake. I heard you talking in your sleep and thought I'd check on you. Relax. Your door was open before I came in.
Yeah, I think Burton just really doesn't care, huh?
Whatever sort of reputation it has, a place to stay gains a special allure when night comes around. The thought of a nice room and a soft pillow draws them in like moths to a flame, no matter what's hidden under the bed.
I guess it makes sense by her I2 outfit splash art having moths to a flame, huh?
Oh, Burton, talk about clumsy parenting. When it's late at night and a child won't stay asleep, what you ought to do is stomp up to their door, make sure they hear those footsteps, then wait just for a while. Trust me, it's a sure thing than hiding a snake under their pillow.
Huh. Yeah, she is just crazy. Which is funny. I do like they making crazy characters, really.
Only the head, or no head at all, and only once per night. Don't want the guests to get too accustomed to the horror, and it'd get altogether tedious. Back then, my fingernails were always dirty. I'd scrub them raw with a rough brush until they cracked and bled. Pa would get angry. Suppose he saw my actions as a kind of childish protest. Mom would be silent, but she'd leave the door open for me the next day. I learned to do the same for my guests.
Interesting. I'm guessing she was from a farming community or something like that. Dirt and her fingernails. I guess we'll see more about her later on.
Simple, soft, soothing. The perfect get-up for a maid, and the perfect excuse for me to knock on a guest's door.
Yeah, what's your hobby? I think I already know what your hobby is.
I've never stopped wanting you to get the allure of fear. Naturally, the more time I spend with you, the better I understand how to manage it. Everyone's got their weaknesses. Even a tough as nails, 100-eyed giant.
That's Argus, by the way. The one she's talking about, because Argus is a giant multi-eyed monster from Greek mythology.
Who would have thought a person without fear could exist in the world? But one is already enough. If there were more, it'd get boring.
Vertin is afraid of things, but she doesn't really show her fear all that much, really.
So I heard there's a comic night festival here. No harm in adding a campfire horror story fest, is there? You know how I love fear.
I think Horrorpedia would like that, really. And probably Blonney. I think the Green Lake gang would like it, really.
At least I was more considerate than those antagonists in those horror films. All my guests checked out in one piece, after all.
Yeah, except that one lady who killed herself because she was so traumatized.
Sometimes children would gather to tell scary stories. They try to up the ante, telling the ones they overheard from adults. I loved it. One of the only times I felt like I was a part of the conversation. Until they decided they'd rather cancel the meetups than have me along.
That's kind of sad, I will say. I do think she was a bit of an ostracized kid growing up. From what I gathered, she was a bit ostracized, right? And she does come off very weird, very off-putting. And the only thing she had was those little horror stories things, and even that was too scary for the other kids, so they didn't want to keep playing with her in a way.
They say survivors often feel guilty. That seeing violence ought to make you fear it. But however many times I go back to those blood-soaked memories, all I feel is freedom. Exhilarating freedom.
Yeah, that pretty much puts a nail in the coffin, right? From what I understand her from the story, I don't think she liked her dad all that much. I think the only person she liked was either her mom or her brother that wanted to go to California. Yeah, I think her dad was just not that great of a person.
They say survivors often feel guilty.
No, I already saw that one.
At seeing violence.
You can try to see the ultimate also.
Knock, knock. Room service.
Alright, let's take a look. Maid hair bandeau. A cotton hairband commonly worn by motel attendants, soft in texture and slightly faded from multiple washes. The motel's owner's daughter is a more convenient title than the motel owner. She uses demurrage and conformity to cover up and amplify the horror. This is something she has come to master. Motel keys. Wow, really? A few cents? What kind of keys do you have? Where the hell do you go to get keys that cheap? A genuine set of keys, no different from the ones at the waist of every motel owner. She has memorized each key and its corresponding door to the motel like a mother knows her children, or perhaps even better. Sometimes the keyholes will change positions or shape, almost if a child is playing a prank, but that won't be a problem for the mother. A baby, in quotations, invaluable. Wrapped smugly in a white cotton cloth, it is silent most of the time, except for the occasional little wiggling or cry. Raising this baby is easy for her. She gives it all the love and affection it needs. There's no doubt that she's a qualified mother, the interviewee claims, smiling. Alright, let's see it. Always in style. It always existed. From the haunted stables and outhouses of the Middle Ages to the ghost plague castles of Gothic literature, it constantly changed forms, waiting for more visitors, more nourishment. A ship then carried it across the ocean to a flourishing new world. In this land, there was never a shortage of legends, both old and new, and they became an abandoned manor or a cabin in the woods, joyfully devouring every visitor from the wilderness, along with their screams and cries. The 20th century ushered a new wave of stories. No one knew exactly where they came from. A friend of a friend, a transfer student, local oddities at the corner of a newspaper. These themes vary from cars, ovens, videotapes, sewers to cities, and the impending new millennium. Those tales gained their own names in modern culture, urban legends. In them, it sensed something familiar, the taste of fear, and the need for fear. And so, it quietly laid its foundations in the dim morning light, growing a simple wooden porch, then a flickering sign, laying down its creaking stairs. At dawn, drivers on Route 77 suddenly noticed the motel. It was a little out of date. Now the motel needed a manager, of course. 16th edition, marriage announcement. Oh, I guess this is the Tuesday's marriage, I guess you could say. We are overjoyed at Christine. Some letters seem to have been crossed out, and some letters seem to be crossed out here as well. We'll soon be exchanging their vows. The wedding will be held in the Dallas church on August 15th at 4 p.m. All friends and families are welcome to join and witness the sacred moment. May the betrothed live in happiness and peace for now and always. Headline: Farm tragedy. Yeah. We saw this from the trailer, and also from her character story. I don't remember very much, it was a while ago. On the evening of July 30th, a farm south of 15 Oak became the target of a brutal attack. 4 were killed on the spot, and 1 victim died en route to the nearest hospital. Police investigations at the scene are reported to believe that the perpetrator are highly likely to be 2 fugitive prisoners who escaped from the Warwick prison on July 19th, Patrick Jensen and Fidel Bello. Police Inspector Mendoza reminded county residents that Jensen and Bello are armed and extremely dangerous, and should anyone come to know their whereabouts, please call the police immediately. 14th edition, Route 77 oddities. Last weekend, Green Bear resident Margaret Jones claimed to have seen a ghost on Route 77, shaking a wave of discussion throughout the town. Meanwhile, an anonymous reader from 15 Oaks wrote in, claiming to have encountered an unbelievable strange conveyance while staring at the motel in the same highway. So yeah, she was gonna get married, but everyone was killed. Yeah, that's the survivor's fear she was talking about. So yeah, I think she was always a bit off, right? But then this tragedy just completely either it didn't affect her at all, which is very worrying, or it could just completely shattered her. I do think I'm more leaning to it didn't affect her all that much, which is probably fit tracks for her character. Alright, all to the dollhouse. Oh yeah, the baby is now a dollhouse in the suitcase. It seems as though, more often than not, you prefer to present yourself in the role of you play. Why do you think the roleplay has to do with fear? Oh, roleplay ain't no part of fear. It's merely laying a foundation for the stories. People will write the bulk of it themselves. They give it a plot and indulge in it. My role is just a guide, a waitress guiding her guests. And your motel? It's playing a role in it too, isn't it? Actors can always use a proper stage. When people step into it, they naturally play the roles assigned to them. It's just a stage, nothing more. Like how people expect to see a simple, hard-working country girl in every farmhouse, or to see multiple rooms inside a suitcase. That's some kind of metaphor. I'm afraid it's not easy to understand. Oh, I'm just describing a motel or a stage, maybe a cute little suitcase. To me, it's just a tiny dollhouse. A dollhouse that you can pick with one hand. That's interesting. I love Tuesdays. Tuesdays a very fun character. It's nice when they just put unapologetically crazy characters that they're just like that. Honestly, they can have a bit of a traumatic past, but like I think Tuesday was always like this. The murder just cemented her personality and creating fear and living through fear and things like that. That's really funny. The amount of artwork I've seen of Argus and Tuesday just completely going at it, it's crazy. I've seen recently one which just has Tuesday grabbing the barrel of Argus's gun and putting it in her mouth. It's crazy what people do with those two characters. Anyways, that's it. I think we should just do one more. It's not exactly horror adjacent, but she was in the same event as Tuesday, so I'll see you a little bit with Anjo Nala.
You said it yourself. This is my room. and I may do with it as I please.
Here we have Miss Kimberly, or her real name, Anjo Nala, the sister of Mata Hari, which is crazy to think about. Yeah, as the succubus. So yeah, let's take a look at her outfits. We have the nursing home outfit, I guess you could say, the one she used in the residence in São Paulo. Yeah, you can see it is interesting. It does have it does accent contour to her body, show off how pretty she looks, but also has an air of innocence, you could say. I think it's a bonnet. I think that's what you call it. It's very interesting. I like the broken microphone with Nala, the La broken apart. Her claw here looks like a glove, unless you look a bit more closely. She does have a look of innocence, like she would as a succubus. I think that's a good design, really. An innocent look to trap unsuspecting people in. Then we have the artistic version. This is probably what she would look like in the 1920s. Yeah, you can see the outfits definitely look like the 20s. There she is, singing on top of a piano. Music notes here. She has a new microphone. This one is more complete. She is completely out there. We have her tail going out and her horns coming out of her hair. She's no longer hiding. I never noticed that. That's a full head. That's a skeleton. That's cool. You can take a look at her outfit. There we go. She has a more revealing outfit, more of what you would assume a succubus would wear, right? The horns come out. She still has her gloves and kind of disguise her claws. It makes her look like gloves, like the extension of her gloves. And yeah, she's using high heels and the microphone is repaired. It's a different style entirely, actually. Kind of cool to look at it. And we can take a look at her things. A supernatural work. Exhibition time unknown, reportedly on display since for over a century. Completed in spring, April 5th, originally exhibited in the Kingdom of the Netherlands, later transferred to São Paulo, Brazil. It has since circulated back and forth through the United States, São Paulo, and the Foundation. Medium, succubus lineage. Afflatus, a yearning nature, beast, an angel of music. Fragrance, floral cypress, rose, patchouli, I don't know what that means, musk, and ambergris. Yeah, she would smell like roses, I think. And cypress, too.
So, this is it? There's really a room for me here? After so long, it's nearly beyond belief that I might have a place of my own now to decorate as I please and share with my friends. A home.
Yeah, this version of her character is a lot less like the Kimberly from, how do we say, the Golden City and Tuesday's Motel. She says her post São Paulo after she's been freed from her enslavement, essentially. That's where Vertin destroyed the toy. And she now follows Vertin voluntarily, essentially. I think she can just, if she wanted to, she could just go away. Who's gonna stop her? She's basically unstoppable. From what we've seen, her versus a lot of trained soldiers with guns. Yeah, but really nobody could really stop her if she wanted to leave, so she's just here voluntarily at this point.
This is only a gentle sprinkle compared to Sao Paulo in the summer. The water would get so high that you'd just as well swim as walk to work. And the heartfelt home always took a thrashing. Build winter and I would have to mend the fences over and over. Pardon me. Did I hear you say the future? No, I'm excited to hear about it, but I am still a part of it. Right?
Yes, you are. Don't worry about it. You can see how afraid she is of being abandoned and things like that, right?
How many miles must I go till I see you again? 100, 3, 5, and more. No matter the distance, I'll make my way back to you.
That's a nice voice.
Well,
fun.
well, don't you look like you've just had an adventure? Rough night? Or did you just have a little too much fun? Wait, you didn't have a party without me, did you?
Don't worry about it.
Good morning, Master. I do hope you enjoyed your dreams last night. I certainly did.
That's a way to think. I don't think she can... Can she look into our dreams? It's possible. She is a succubus after all.
Perhaps you might consider leaving your door unlocked at night.
Yeah, I don't think Vertin locks her doors, really.
My Alda always said, neither love nor hate should weigh you down. I wanted to tell her she was wrong. Oh, but her hugs were so warm at night. She had the loveliest scent, like lilac. Now, whenever I smell it, I think of her.
That's sad. She's probably gone at this point from the storm, from the Antarctica storm, really.
Oh, that feels so lovely. Oh, there. And just a little scratch behind the horns, too. Oh, would you possibly tend to my tail as well?
She's purring. She's actually purring. That's crazy.
Oh, you mean this old thing? We go way back. She was the only thing I managed to bring into that wind-up toy with me.
I think she's talking about the microphone. Yeah, it makes sense. The first version was broken as hell, so it makes sense that she's the only that's the only thing she brought with her.
What is it? Is there blood on my dress? Oh, I promise I've been good.
What's your hobbies?
What glamorous times those were. Food everywhere. All delicious, of course. And party after party. With new people and new excitements each day. All accented by the sweet aroma of desire.
Yeah, I think that's basically what she eats. Like the air, desire, and dreams. Things like that.
I must say, as a host, you are most generous and kind. Too much so, I say. It beggars belief that you ask for nothing in return for letting us stay here.
I think Vertin just wants company, all things considered. She was always a lonely child, so I think having a lot of people around makes her feel comfortable.
They told me you went to great lengths to negotiate for my freedom. I'm ever so grateful to you. Master, are you really this kind to everyone here?
Really, she is. It's kind of crazy that who is here that really shouldn't be. Isolde. Yeah, that's pretty much the craziest character that's here. No pun intended, but like, yeah, she's. I think Isolde is the. I don't even know if she canonically is in the suitcase because she's like locked up right now in the. How do we call it? In Mesmer's like hospital or something like that. Yeah, she's just. Her mind is completely broken right now. So yeah. You aren't even the least. You aren't the most problematic person here, Anjo. Don't worry about it.
Just learn to pay close attention to their prey, their body, their personality, their presentation, and their deepest desires. All this to say, I've encountered a most peculiar person indeed. One that defies all my prior understanding.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious she has a thing for Vertin. The few characters have, but I think it's a bit refreshing that not, unlike some gacha games, not everyone has feelings for the main character. Just a few that make sense, like Sonetto, Anju, and I think that's pretty much it. Just those two, and it makes sense, right? Anjo Nala was basically freed from slavery from Vertin, even if she still calls her master. I think it's just more of a terms of endearment more than actual obligation. And then Sonetto, obviously, she's her ride and die. Really, she will follow Vertin to the ends of the earth at this point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think just those two. I think.
I simply cannot live next door to August anymore. I am serious. Do you realize she still points that gun of hers at me each and every time we speak?
I mean, can you blame her? Yeah, I don't think you can blame her, Anju.
I find myself conflicted about my sister. At times, I feel the deepest affection for her. Yet there is still anger. As time goes by, I think less and less about her.
I think you should still keep your sister in mind, even if you have to keep moving forward, you know? I think family is important, but you can't be dragged down by the memory. It's a good thing to just keep a reminder that she existed, in a way. You can take a look at the ultimate thing.
Silly dreams.
That's interesting. Alright, we got a few things. We got nurse's camp. The standard uniform for caretakers in the heartfelt home. Kindness, tolerance, and patience, traits shared by all wearers. However, the truth of that may be skewed when not worn according to regulations. Yeah, I think Anjo was not wearing it correctly. It's very cheap. Let me see. Scaled satin gloves. Oh, so they are actual gloves. That's interesting. I didn't know that were actual gloves. A pair of satin gloves adorned with snakeskin. I guess that explains why it looked like actual claws. And once shone brilliantly. Over time, the interviewee neglected to care for them. These exquisite scales. Rather than glimmering the light, she prefers to hide her underdeveloped talent. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Fantasia. Pearl hair accessory. That is expensive as all hell. An ornamental hairdress, gifted to her by an old guest, designed by a skilled jeweler. The interviewee is not fully aware of its value, nor does she need to be, but she has always treasured the memories of it. It holds. Memories of an era and a family. Alright, let's... Oh, Lord of the Succubus, I'm actually curious about this. Originated from the Middle East, the succubi race is fond of two things above all, slaughter and chaos. They achieve this via the ability to charm and captivate. Their powerful, unrestrained instincts sometimes drive them to venture into the complex and ever-changing human world. The celebrity-turned-spy Matahari, as we know now, was a succubus. The countless nights of banquets and lavish pleasures were designed to be short-lived, like a beautiful yet fleeting dream. Their claws left scars. Humans came to understand the endless greed of succubi and grew fearful of them. And fear brings chaos. Eventually, Matahari was publicly executed. News and photographs spread everywhere, announcing an impending catastrophe that would affect all succubi. Overnight, the succubi realm, human governments, and the Foundation all issued warrants to hunt down the succubi active in human society, including her much-beloved sister. Nalahari thus began her life in exile. Yeah, Nalahari is her real name. Anjo Nala was the name the heartfelt home gave you. Anju means angel, so her name is Anjo Nala, the angel that came to help the old folks in Sao Paulo. Observation record. October 1972. The subject arrived in New York State and has followed instructions to operate only at night. May 1977. The contracted item was mistakenly purchased at high price by a wealthy businessman who thought it was an antique children's toy. It was given to his son. The subject thus enjoyed a brief time of comfort. It was later confirmed that the businessman's son suffered irreversible damage during his adolescence. Oh boy, I wonder what the hell happened there. The subject, has summoned by a socialite, included to perform a series of tests for profit. Targets include women. Interesting anecdote out there, I guess. Makes sense. Succubi would just attack everyone, not just targeting men, I guess you could say. March 1985. The subject was summoned and sent to a business tycoon for seduction and assassination work. This mission appeared to have produced extreme distress in the subject. Yeah, I think poor Anju. Being forced to kill people and things like that. Year unknown. The contracted item was contained by an organization. An unidentified report suggests that something in the organization's facilities affected the subject's mental state, and the contracted item served as a protective barrier. Yeah, I think after the assassination she just completely broke down. 1990. The subject declared themselves freed after an accident. This conclusion is yet to be verified. Pandora Wilson. The satisfaction and ideals. A pile of faded wind-up toy fragments. Can you tell me about them? No, I won't. That was not the toy. It was a cage. It was a seal with passages so narrow I could hardly crawl through their gaps. And I would never learn how to crawl out. Sounds like you're lucky that you've been here talking with me now. It's you who ought to feel lucky. If that ugly old thing was still in one piece, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you unless it was by my master's command. So did someone command you to accept this interview today? No, you misunderstand. My new master, or rather, my partner. It's a good friend. She told me it was safe to do the interview. No big deal. She also said trying new things is part of starting anew. Using friendly communication in lieu of commands is a novel way of dealing with succubi, though it seems effective. So, what are your expectations for the future? I don't know. I've considered going back to the Heartfelt home, though I also might just stay here. My friend has done so much to help me, so if she asks me to help in return, I'll do my best to assist her. As long as I have a full meal from time to time, preferably one of those sweet, flowing breath of life. I fully understand. Thank you for your time. And that was Anjo Nala. I do think she was the highlight of the Tristes Tropics. She was really the thing. I did like the Moldier side plot. I forgot the sister's name. That's embarrassing. But yeah, Lopera. Moldier and Lopera's side quest was also pretty interesting, and Igor was very good, but that only happened at the end. Essentially, the heart of the story was basically Anjo Nala. And also her character story was pretty much one of the best. I still think Recoleta is one of the best side stories, but it is what it is. And also, before we go, we can take a look at the... Let's see... where is it? Nope. I want to see how... I always forget how do I change this. There we go. Where is she? There she is. She has a little introduction. She walks in, and this doesn't show in the thing, but if you touch the microphone.
I simply must say, as a host, you are most generous and kind. Too much so, I say.
Nah, I want to see the.
It beggars belief. Oh, I see.
There we go.
Oh, you must be quite the singer yourself, right? Come on, sing us a song.
Touch the microphone.
Master, stop! You're going to make me fall on stage.
It is a funny line, but yeah, basically fucking grabs the microphone way too hard, and it's funny.
This is my room, and I may do with it as I please.
And I think that's gonna be it for now. Maybe I'll do another one next month, focusing more on other characters, on maybe the limited characters, or maybe the Laplace characters. Who knows? I'll take a look at who has 100% bond, and I'll take a look at that. Maybe Shemaine, or I don't have. Maybe the Indian characters. I don't have all of them, like Kanjira and Shemaine, and a few other characters. I'll try to keep them into a theme. This theme was Assassin's Creed and the horror patch. And Anjo Nala is kind of a bit iffy, but you know what. But she was part of the Tuesday's patch, so I guess it was a nice thing to add her at the end. Anyways, that's going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you think of this little, how do I put it? This little anecdote, I guess you could say. I will see you later for more Reverse 1999. Ciao.